Hi everybody, welcome to another Connected Live. As you can see, I am all bundled up. It is really cold here in Oklahoma today, and I just can't seem to get warm. So I have my puffer jacket on, and I'm also having a new puppy and two large German Shepherd dogs. All three are German Shepherds, but you never know when the new puppy is going to ask to go out, and when you're reinforcing positive behavior, you just can't ignore when a young dog who's learning a new behavior asks permission as you're trying to teach him to go out. So if I suddenly bolt, it's because I'm prioritizing the puppy's education. So thank you for joining me here on Connected Live. I've been doing more Instagram just because I just like this a lot better, and I get more views, and I'm trying to help more people. So I've been a holistic practitioner. If you don't know my work now, 20 years. I have a platinum reputation. PayPal executives, they had put a hold on my account for some international monies that came in from clients that are in different parts of the world because location's not an issue for me. And the reason I'm bringing this up is just, again, about reputation. I'm an energetic healer, but I deal with my clients, both people and animals, on three levels: the energetic, the emotional, and the physical. And I'm able to bring all three together. And I work really well with Western medicine. I work well with doctors. I worked well in conjunction with vets and trainers and behaviorists. So PayPal put a hold, and I asked them why, and they told me. And then they took a look at my account and said, "We've never seen an account like yours." And I said, "What does that mean?" "Well, you've been with us since the beginning, and we've never seen an account this clean. This is the cleanest account we've ever seen." And I started laughing. And I said, "Well, it's because I have to do what I do in integrity, or if I don't, of course you're going to see loads of complaints." And they're like, "For the type of service that you do, to have this level of platinum clean out with all the years that you've been practicing," he said, "we've never seen anything like it. We're removing all the holds from your account. You are clearly a person of great integrity and also of great talent." So that to me was one of the biggest compliments I've ever gotten, and I've maintained that too. So if you need help, connectedenergyhealing.com to make an appointment. And what I want to address today is, again, I've stayed on the down low with what would seem like really woo-woo or out there things, things that I have perceived my whole life and have been concerned about, are now making sense with the Great Reset versus the Great Awakening. Obviously, I'm on the Great Awakening team. The Reset is really kind of the darkness that is terms that you're probably starting to hear: the Cabal, satanic. You're starting to hear population control, mind control, programming. As an indigo, from childhood, I could make all the connections and that other people could not. And I was a kid doing it. And adults would say, "Oh my God, that doesn't make any sense, all the things that you're connecting." And now as an adult, my clients are like, "God, all these things that you connect for health, from career to emotional to physical, all the elements," when they tell me everything going on, that I can connect back to each other and then show the path through for quality of life, physical health, emotional health, career health, mission and purpose, they're just shocked at. And then a lot of people have said through the years, "Well, she does really good research. She's obviously very well educated, so she knows her supplements." Yes, I do. One of the biggest compliments I ever got was from one of my clients in the UK. They are a client with means, and they have the ability to see some of the top people in the healing industry, holistic health as well as Western. And they went to go see somebody, I guess, just to get a different opinion than mine. And the person who charges way more than I would ever charge, but charges like in the thousands, said, "Whoever you're working with in the States really knows what she's doing. These are the best of the best." And they made little or no changes to what they recommended for my client. And so I was when they gave me that feedback, I just was blown away and very grateful to get that feedback. So that when you work with me, it's a fair rate. I don't sell things, so I'm not trying to make extra money. But there's a lot of work that goes into this. But the energetic piece that I do, people will start to see things resolve, whether they're situations, possessions, whether it's pain issues, health issues. They'll see radical changes with the energetic work. So I've worked on the side of light my whole life, even when I was in corporate. And, you know, there was so much shadow in corporate. Like I said, I always sensed stuff, but really hesitant to put a label on it. And now, as I've been doing more research for the Great Awakening and talking with people that I would consider colleagues. Okay, so when I post this, I'm going to post a video that I found and that someone sent to me. And they use some of the words that are in my vocabulary, and it's not gory and it's not graphic. There's some hard language, so this is not for children. But I'm going to post the link to Rumble so you can watch it. This is not just something going on in the United States, it's worldwide. Everybody's focused on our political situation, and we should be. The fact that we have an impeachment trial going on for a former president who's a private citizen goes against our Constitution. There is an illegal trial going on right now, and they're pushing it through because they are so confident in their ability for the American people not to stand up, that this is how they have proliferated and maintained, controlled, and created indentured, basically, servitude in the United States. Do your homework. Do you really own anything? You might think you own a home, but if you don't pay all the taxes associated with the federal and the state, your home is taken away from you. It's like you're a glorified leaser. The other thing is, there is more than enough money in this country to fix all the problems that we have here for all our people. We should not have the infrastructure problems. We should not have the educational issues. We should not have the medical problems. We should not have the mental health problems. We should not have the homelessness issue. We should not have the veterans issues. We should not have animals being eradicated in shelters. We have all the money needed. There is so much wealth in this country. And basically, these evil people on both parties, every party, on all levels, this great evil has created this lack of abundance. And literally, our taxes and sending money abroad is a massive laundering money situation. And it's because people have been asleep. Oh, well, we voted them in, they should take care of it. They're not. Your quality of life is not getting better. Your quality of life has gotten worse. I know this because when I work with my clients and I do just what I do, and they say I'm a miracle worker and that I transform their lives, it's because I get them inner independent. I get them awake. I get them thinking about all the connections. I get them taking right action. I get them moving. And they know that everything around them is really being manipulated in a really dark way. So the Americans have to wake up, and we have to start really taking these individuals to task. And you can't be stuck in dogma or in a party. You can't. You have to see evil for where it is. Even if you thought it wasn't evil and, oh my God, you open your eyes and then realize it, you can't worry about that. You have to worry about the present and move forward. The evil is all around the world. And this is not something we're all making up. I have a track record of being right. I have a track record of credibility. And I see it happening. And we really have to wake up. We have to win. There is no second place this time around. We have to, once and for all, finish this great evil. And we, as a species, need to wake up and evolve and be part of this great awakening, because being in the great awakening means you get your health back. You get your quality of life back. It means you get your mental health back. It means you learn to focus on mission and purpose and find joy in your life, and you're not just in some job doing something. Every job is important, but mission and purpose is everything. So you have to figure out why you're here and what role you play. That's what I help my clients with, from people who clean houses all the way down to people who are doctors and lawyers and nurses. I help them find what that mission and purpose means in their life. And once they find it, and then they start waking up to connections, their quality of life, whether they start with me at 65 or start with me at 13, goes through the roof. I debunk all kinds of things, like one child with bipolar disorder on lithium, which is a barbaric drug, and that kid turns out to be incredibly gifted. And again, the system, the darkness is rigged to squash indigos, to squash people of the light. Okay, so what can you do? Stand up, start yelling and screaming, start ringing the phone at your representative's office, local, federal. Don't give in. Let them know. Is there going to have to be another big march on Washington? Probably. Because the fact that an illegal impeachment is taking place in the Capitol right now, all of you should be afraid. Whether you like Trump or not is irrelevant. It's that due process, the fact that you can't impeach a non-sitting president. It doesn't exist. And the fact that they're being hypocrites. They're saying he incited riot. They're going after free speech. Not to mention, they were all inciting riot. Obama, all of them were. We have billions of dollars in damage from cities around the country because they were saying, keep protesting. They were inciting it. You don't see any of them being arrested. Free speech they're attacking free speech. And people will say, well, it's the legal right of a private platform to do that. No, it's really not. Not when the platform is created for the public in order to speak. Then you fall within the paradigms of free speech. In the spirit of the law, they are going against it. Yeah, I went to law school. I don't claim to be a legal expert, but read. And don't tell me you're too busy with this, that, or the other. We all have to make the time to do this because I'm telling you, things are going to get a lot worse if everybody goes into the Great Reset paradigm versus the Great Awakening paradigm. Sorry, just making sure the dogs are not killing themselves. So seriously, this is a topic that I'm very impassioned about, and I hope that people wake up. It's so important. The fact that we're still, too many are asleep, like people were watching the Super Bowl thing, and I saw a lot of people objecting. A lot of people were waking up to what they saw, and then a lot of people didn't. They're like, oh, it's just an expression, a creative expression. Oh, they have a story that explains it. Oh my God. Even past Super Bowl thing, the biggest human trafficking thing, and not understanding those images that were so clear and evident. There's so many things that people are missing. But I'm going to post a link to watch this video on Rumble. So Instagram is not great with links. So you're just going to have to copy the link and then put it into your browser because it's not going to be a live link. But please listen to it because I always hesitate to listen to these things that talk about the Cabal and Satanism. But I listened because a very credible source sent it to me. And when I listened to it, I went, they're right. They're absolutely right. Damn. There's no reforming these people. They are complete sociopaths. They have infiltrated our entire Congress, our entire Senate, both sides of the fence, by the way. Not any political side. It's both sides. We have to take this very seriously as a nation. And this is the war. This is the civil war that's being fought around the world. I saw some people that have been following me here on Instagram Live. Over a year ago, I was given a psychic vision of a topographical map of the United States. And I thought it was weird they showed me a topographical map. And then they showed me a jagged line through it, going east to west, cutting us in half from north to south. And I went, is this a civil war? And they said, yes. And I went, topographical map, and the line just kept going across the boundaries of what is the U.S. into the Pacific, into the Atlantic. And I went, worldwide? Yes, I heard civil war worldwide. Okay. And I said, but what's up with the topographical map? And I said, are we having more natural disasters? And they said, yes. And I said, well, earthquakes, what are we talking about? Well, COVID could be considered a natural disaster. It hadn't really been on the radar as heavily as it was later on. And I knew COVID was going to be a problem. And people keep arguing whether it was created or not in a lab. It was. Just please, it was. This thing did not evolve from the animal kingdom. This is the way we start saying kill all the monkeys or kill all the cats or kill all the rats. And I maintain that terrain is everything. This COVID has placed a very fine point on how weak our society has become. That's what the evil has done. The FDA hasn't had our best health interests at heart. The FDA is bought and paid for by Big Pharma, GMOs. I said that Monsanto years ago, prior to it happening, I saw a psychic vision of a pharmaceutical company buying Monsanto. I said it makes total sense that pharma would buy Monsanto because poison the food source, you have more customers. And that's exactly what happened. Years later, people said, you called it. I said, of course I called it. It makes sense. It wasn't just a psychic vision, but it makes good sense in the evil business paradigm that is Big Pharma and GMO'd. If our food source is poisoned, if we're using toxic products with chemicals on our skin, absorbed through the liver over a period of time, all these diseases crop up. The vaccines being riddled with all kinds of problems. And then this new thing being called a vaccine, it doesn't actually qualify as a vaccine. If you really do your homework, and don't ask me to give you the links, go do your homework. Stop being lazy. People that want to protect their dogma, they're like, show me the evidence. Well, do you think pharmaceuticals are going to allow the evidence? Like 25 years ago, when I was dealing with HPV, I found that it goes back to SV40. Where did SV40 come from? The original polio vaccine had it. SV40 is a monkey retrovirus. So how did that get into 90% of the population? Oh, they renamed it HPV and then call it a sexually transmitted disease in order to absolve themselves of rushing something to market without looking at the long-term effects. This is just one small case of how many thousands of cases that they used to do. I'll talk about a radical example. They used to put leeches on people to stop the infection. Really? I mean, so many things have been debunked and revised through the time, but if you look at this current virus and you look at this current thing that they're promoting, that if they're going to mandate this thing, no, we can't allow it to be mandated. If you want to take it, free will, free choice, okay. But I'm telling you right now, it doesn't fall within the parameters of a vaccine. You can't detox from it because it's RNA affecting the DNA and how your body works. I used to have clients tell me, oh, I'm going to Bali, I need to take this crazy cocktail of vaccines. And I would go, okay, I can detox them from that. I can save them from the long-term inflammation effects of that. I can't with this thing. This thing that they've produced is not, and I'm so against it. It's not funny. Every fiber of my being sees it. Just like wearing a mask. Smoke particles can get through a mask. You really think that a virus can't get through it, and its primary way of getting through is the eyes and the ears and breaks in the skin? God, wake up, America. Masks are a primary tool to exert control. And the only real way to stop anything from getting in is a hazmat suit with a full headgear to avoid the eyes and oxygen. We all can't live that way. This has been a massive mishandling, but purposefully mishandling of this virus. It has wreaked havoc. Like, if you jump on this thing and look at your nutrients and look at what is deficient in your body and you jump on it, this thing does not have to kill people. And it's killing like what, under 2%. And people go, well, then you haven't been affected by it. You haven't had a loved one die. And I have friends that are doctors and people are coding. Yes, because they're waiting too late. And they've already proven that over 40% of the deaths could have been avoided if their vitamin D had been looked at, amongst other things. Now they're looking at vitamin B1 deficiency affecting the lungs, magnesium deficiency also affecting it. if you're scared, go get your blood work done. See what vitamins you need. Even in India, you know, they're not wearing masks. They're not doing social distancing. They're giving ivermectin, hydrochloroquine. Oh my God, the media came out against it, butchered Trump over it. And now they're saying it's viable. How many people died because they couldn't have the treatment because it was ridiculed in the press? And then ivermectin. All over the world, there's pages and pages of research on it. It does work. In 48 hours, it kills it, which is really weird that a virus is killed by a dewormer. Again, that's why I know it's engineered, because it's got some weird characteristics. But I just had a client in California who waited too long. They got sick for 5 days. They waited too long. They called me up. I read them the Riot Act. They went into the hospital for a little bit, but we pulled them out of it, doing everything we know. But I told the doctor, told her to tell her doctor, get on ivermectin. I knew it would work for her. The guy refused. When my client said, will it cause me harm if I take it, just, you know, to see if it'll help? No, it won't cause you any harm, but I'm still not going to give it to you. A friggin' doctor, who does that? Why wouldn't you cover all your stops when you have a patient who's in trouble? I couldn't believe it. There are so many things that are so dark about this, folks. So many things don't make sense. Do your homework. Nothing adds up. The connections, as far as the manipulativeness, the divisiveness. This is a worldwide fight for freedom, a worldwide fight for us to exist, not in indentured servitude. Amsterdam, they're taken to the streets. I don't recommend violence. I'm not advocating violence. I'm advocating open your businesses up. Absolutely do not adhere to what these monsters are doing, because they're benefiting. The population is suffering. I've talked about this in other Connected Lives. I have said, you know, kill small business. They reduce your employment options. Your employment options are so reduced you can't get a job, and then they put you on a government dole. Communism, a completely failed model, but a form of indentured servitude. Next, they'll tell us what we can purchase in the store and what we can't. This is what we're fighting against. It's a very great evil, and so many people don't want to open their eyes to it, but it is in our faces. And this human trafficking thing is real, and the children are real, and the cabals are real, and the 13 families are real, and they consider us cattle. And they are sociopaths that know how to lie. They believe their own lies. So please, please, please take me very seriously. Most of the people who follow me know I do not get like this. I do not speak like this. But this is real. And we all have to fight. And we all have to say no. And we all have to do our part. I don't care if you start hitting redial and leaving voicemail messages for your representatives to make this stop. No mandatory vaccines. Stop with the masks. The way they're doing it, it doesn't work. The lockdowns don't work. It's just further driving us into poverty and enslavement. So I'm going to leave it there for today. I know I'm very passionate about it. I don't mean to sound panicky. I just want to wake up as many people as possible and take this seriously on the larger scope. And it is real. So I'm going to post that link for the Cabal in a little bit. The guy does like a verbal essay. He has slides, but the slides are written slides. And there's nothing gory, but it's not for children. But it is hard to listen to because it is a wake-up call. Okay, I will talk to y'all soon. If you have any topics you'd like me to cover, please let me know. I will cover them in my next Connected Lives. All right. Thanks again, everybody. I do believe light will win. I'm passionate. I feel we will win. We just need to wake more people up to it and have more people take right action. All right. Talk to y'all soon. ConnectedEnergyHealing.com to make an appointment. Thank you.